Thank you for tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show. I have a special guest host tonight, Michael T. Williams. How are you doing?
Doing good, and you?
I am doing pretty good. I cannot complain. Now I really like talking to you about so many issues, but one of my favorite things to talk with you and get your insight about is politics. Recently there were some things that I saw on social media while keeping my ear to the streets, and I want to know your opinion on that.
Okay.
Yes. One of the things that I saw was Kamala Harris. She tweeted on Twitter that Joe Biden had a fund to stop Trump from basically cheating on his on the presidency, because Trump is still saying that the Dems cheated him out of being the president and all this crazy stuff. But they were looking for people to donate, and I thought that was odd. I'm like, first off, I don't got no money to donate.
Right.
Did he win or did he not win? So what is you read the article, what is your take on that?
I think Joe Biden definitely won the race. I just feel like this is a somebody who is just like a sore loser, and I feel like it's like really unpresidential because at some point you have to like concede and just move on and accept defeat. And I'm wondering, like, is he just afraid of going to jail, or I think he was so convinced he was going to win. I think he really thinks people really love him, and I think he was convinced he was just going to win, and it's hard for him to accept defeat.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree. I feel like he's probably one of the worst sore losers that I've ever ran across, or just
Same.
no. Yeah, and it's pretty sad. But when you get a Biden fight fund, I I really don't understand the logic of that, because wouldn't they have people, besides civilians like us, to be able to help them with that? Why are they trying to get money from us?
And then the sad part is that people are going to donate, but once he still loses, what happens to those funds? That's the bigger question.
Oh, you know what? That is a really good question. Like, an ulterior motive? Like, is it a reason why they need those funds? And if so, I mean, I hope that we get a heads up, because I was like, I'm all for the cause, but I'm not about to donate. I feel like that's something that the Senate and Congress can do. I mean, if you see him, if you saw somebody cheating, or they had real evidence that he was cheating, they could stop the bullshit. They would do something
Yeah.
about it. They would say something. So you can't produce any evidence that anybody cheated him. He just lost. He's a sore loser.
He lost fair and square. And I feel like they cheated him to get in there anyway, but to get him in there. So with the money, that's such a sketchy thing. But I think somebody will donate, because if you think about it, you had people donating for like some of these police officers that like clearly kill people. So
Mm-hmm.
people will give money. Even in the middle of a pandemic, like we think people don't have money, but people have money for what they want to do.
Oh, you know what? That's a really good claim. They do it. We do spend money on what we want to spend money on, even during the pandemic. I wanted to read what Kamala Harris tweeted. She said, Trump and the Republicans are trying to dismantle our decisive victory with baseless lawsuits. We need your help to fund the legal work necessary to protect every vote. If you can afford to contribute to the Biden Fight Fund today, please do. I was concerned because I'm thinking January 20th, will he or will he not be the president of the United States of America? What
Right.
is going on? Like, are we getting excited too quick? Do you feel like we're getting excited too quick when you read that? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, are you concerned with that?
I think it's pretty much like a done deal that Joe Biden will be the president. But I think it because like from my understanding on January 20th, regardless of what had been reported, that whoever was the winner, they count again even on that final day when he is on the inauguration day. They recount again that day. So just say like in any other event, like when President Obama won, even though we were, happy that President Obama won, they still recount the votes again. And I think Joe Biden still will prevail as the winner. I think Trump will eventually concede. I think it's just I don't know, it may just be, I don't know what the point of that is, honestly, but I think we will have Joe Biden as a president.
I think that we will. I am in prayer and that everything will work out. But when I saw that, I just was like, geez, it's like a bad rash on your neck or your leg that just will not go away with whatever medicine that you use for it and antibiotics. It just don't go away. Go away, Trump, please.
Would it be a stretch to compare Donald Trump to herpes?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It would not be a stretch at all. He is a herpes virus.
A bad outbreak.
Yeah, very bad outbreak, bro. Like, go away. Like, we won't miss you. Nobody cares except for his minions. And so here's another thing that I would like to ask you. We are very excited that Biden and Harris will be, crossing our fingers, sworn in, and January 20th he will be out. But what are some of the concerns for their administration that you, as a young Black man, is going to be on the watch for, and some of the things that you will hope to be fixed under the Biden-Harris administration?
Well, I'm having concerns about them being able to get anything passed because, like, Congress is like a full Republican Congress right now, mostly. So that's something I was kind of thinking about earlier. But I definitely would like to see them do something with like police reform, do something for like HBCUs to like get more funding. The police brutality like is a big one. We need to have these people held accountable because honestly, I don't feel like a full-on American citizen because we don't get those same inalienable rights that white people get because they can alienate our rights at almost any time and then they get away with it. That's my main thing. And then we need something for like healthcare, and I would like to see also something for like, I don't know, I guess just more research for like cancers and stuff that affect Black women. Because my mother passed away from cervical cancer, so I would love to see like things that like stuff like that from healthcare companies that can just help like Black women get the best healthcare that they can. So those are my top things. What about you?
Those are really, really good. Very impressed with that. Definitely one of the things that I was concerned about is police reform for my brothers and my sisters, because when we spoke a while back, Black women were being murdered as well as Black men, and we were concerned with that. I definitely want something to change, and it has to be a permanent change. It can't be like one year and then it goes back. They really do have to put these guys, these police, under the radar and make them be held accountable for killing, especially Black people. I think it's just unfortunate for us. You know what I'm saying? You should not be a target because you're Black. Just because you're not comfortable in the skin that I'm in. This is how God made me, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. So I want something done about that. I definitely am big on the healthcare because I think it's unfair that a lot of people cannot go see the doctor. Sometimes they have a job and you're a contractor, and contractors, a lot of jobs do not provide benefits for contractors. So what am I supposed to do when I can't go get my teeth done, or I can't go see if, while I'm sick, or I can't pay for my medicine? So those are also concerns. And I talked about that not too long ago, especially with older people, because one of the things under the Trump administration was to, do away with Medicare, or make it very hard for elderly to get it. And I just think that's crazy to me. I don't see how that would benefit anyone who's not rich or who doesn't have money to pay for their parents' medication, But there are work laws that I would like to see changed. I know for years, there's a law that I used to actually write in about. It's a Texas law. We're an at-will state, and I do not like it. I
Oh,
do not like that law because I have been discriminated against at certain companies and treated like I didn't have any rights because I'm at will and I wasn't a permanent worker, so I was treated unfairly, and I feel like that law should be changed. If I'm being fired, I should know why. If I'm being fired,
exactly.
there should be a paper trail on what I did wrong leading up to my termination. You shouldn't be able to just fire me because you don't like me anymore or you jealous of me or and I've seen that a lot. So that's something that I would like a law that I would like change. It's so many different things. You can go on and on, but like we both mentioned, I think the police reform is one of the major ones. Let me ask you this: how do you feel about defunding of the police?
Uh, I think that's like kind of extreme. I think we should just go ahead and keep them funded, but they need to be retrained and they need to get better people to be police officers because these people are not good people. And then you're a bad police officer also if you see wrong and you don't say anything because in a way you are kind of condoning what they are doing. We need more people to speak up and like, but I think we should keep them we should keep them funded, but I think they need to like change a lot in hiring and change a lot in training because it starts in the training and just pick better quality people.
You know what? I agree because I know with when it comes to being a police, it's first off, it's not easy. Okay.
No,
Um,
it's not.
no, besides the physicals for your physique, you also have to take a an analysis on your mental state. So,
Hmm.
me personally, I believe that a lot of the times these police officers go into the academy having issues already, deep mental issues, and I think they're still given a job.
I think so too
And I think
because
that's
they
wrong.
maybe they need people or something and it's like a shortage. I don't know.
I agree because I bet, and they don't give this information to the public, but I bet you a lot of the officers that have had these issues where they killed a civilian had a mental issue or it was brought up during their mental health analysis checkup when they were applying for a police officer job. I'm sure is documented because that's something that they have to document. Like if you've ever they put you under hypnosis as well. Yeah, they ask you questions.
Oh
It's
wow.
serious. They ask you questions. They get into your mind and see how you really feel. So they know that I feel that they know a lot of these guys have mental issues of their own and they're still given a job. So I think that it comes from if like you said we shouldn't defund them, okay? Because people are going to get hurt. People are going to need the cops to defend them. That's never going to change. But I feel like the higher up should be held responsible for choosing these candidates that have mental health issues themselves, because obviously they're dropping the ball every time when it comes to a civilian, preferably a black civilian at that.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're right. Defunding the police really is not going to help anything. If anything, it's going to increase crime.
Right.
Yeah, I think
And
that
then they'll feel justified as to when that increases, they'll feel justified as to why they do the things they do.
absolutely. And I think one of the things that kind of still concerns me is the fact that some states have not mandated that they wear a body cam. I mean, how can we all be on the same page if you're not wanting the police officers to wear a body cam? What do you have to hide?
Exactly.
That's really sick to me.
Exactly. And I feel like I was kind of racially profiled earlier this year. It wasn't like a serious thing, but on 420, I was traveling back from Dallas. It must have been like the day after, or I was coming back either on 420, and I was almost back in Houston in Willis, and I ended up getting pulled over. And um, first off, he had me like sit in his police car, and it was like I really didn't want to because it was like back when COVID had first kind of started. But I kind of understood why because we were like on the side of the road. But
Mm.
he was like asking me if could he search my car if he wanted to, and then like what did I know what day it was? But he was trying to test to see if I knew like if I was running drugs or not. And the reason he gave me for pulling me over was he claimed I was tailing too close to an 18 wheeler, but I think I didn't have tinted windows on that vehicle, so I think he just got a look in the car and saw that it was a black male, and I guess maybe they were looking for drug runners or something. So I think at one point or another, we will all have some kind of run-in with the police, like as a person of color. So
You know what? It's sad. I really, especially for my brothers, because you're absolutely correct. I think we will have a run in with the police. I know I've had my share of words with officers, just like letting them know that I know my rights. But
mm-hmm,
I still think it's still more of a bias, and they're afraid of black men and maybe the power that they
mm-hmm,
possess, or because I can't say that I've had like a lot of negative issues with police, but I have seen it with my brothers, with my male cousins, things like that. So yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. But hopefully with the Biden and Harris administration, they will quickly address these issues and concerns, because I know this is not the end for black people. Just because they're in office doesn't mean, oh, good, I can finally breathe now. It's gonna take,
no,
yeah, it's gonna, no pun intended, but it's gonna take a lot of fight from them to get this shit under control. So here's another topic that I saw while keeping my ear to the streets. New York City will now send mental health experts instead of cops to help on certain 911 calls. I'm so sorry, but that stuck out. When I saw the headline, that stuck out like a sore thumb. I was like, wait a minute. This could be something good. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think it's a good idea because, as we talked about earlier, the police are not the most trained. So I feel like they do need medical, they do need healthcare and mental health professionals there who are more equipped to like basically talk the person off the ledge because I think they are really just trained to kill at this point, especially like black people. I think they are definitely are very trigger happy. So I think we do. This is definitely a good idea. It could also employ more people, and I feel like everywhere else outside of New York needs to implement this. And I also read something else that was saying 16% of people with an untreated mental disorder could be, well, are killed by the police every year. 16%. So maybe, at least in New York City, this might make a small dent, like a very small dent in the 16%. So ultimately, I think it's a good idea.
Yes, I think so too. And the chillest will said cops having insurance makes them accountable. Lose the insurance and you can't be a cop at Dick Gregory. So I didn't mean to sound so news anchorish on that. I just thought about that,
No,
Mike.
that was good.
Thank you. I've been watching too much TV, but you know what? He's right. I feel like we'll have to have him on the show too, because I know he talks about this in person like really good, and I can't explain it like he could. But having them have insurance, it's only gonna piss the ones off that are purposely killing us, And
Mm-hmm.
it's so much, more that we could say about that. But definitely that would be a start with the Biden and Harris administration. And one more point on that. New York City is launching a new pilot program, and it's supposed to start in 2021. And this is, with the mental health that we're talking about. My thoughts on that, I really think that would be a good idea, because I was watching, I don't know, are you big on watching Hulu episodes, Mike? Are you?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's totally fine. There's a episode on there called The Neighborhood. It's something more to it, but just if you watch Hulu, it'll stick out. It's called The Neighborhood, but it is about a story about a young black man who was laying outside of a job, and the people that were predominantly white at this company had a problem with him just laying outside, minding his own business. A little odd, but he was laying outside. He had his own house, but sometimes he would just lay outside. Several times cops would come out to tell him that he had to get up. He would get up. No, all the other cops said they never had a problem with him. Well, this particular day, he goes to lay down again, and this cop comes. He's called, and he comes outside, and he to the spot and lets the guy know you have to get up. Well, words are exchanged. The cop starts to beat the guy or try to hit him with his baton, and the civilian snatches it from him to prevent from being hit. All the people that were looking from this window to the outside said they never saw the black guy hit the cop with that baton. Just grab it like, hey, stop hitting me. He shot that dude 13 times.
Wow.
13 damn times. And this happened in Milwaukee. It pissed me off. I could barely keep watching the show. Why would you have to shoot him 13 times? And then his mom produced his records, and he had an issue with mental health. So I think by New York setting this trend of instead of sending cops out there dealing with people that have a mental health issue, because you can tell when someone had a mental health issue.
Yes.
You are a cop. You're trained for that. So you're just at that moment, you're letting your racism fuel you, and you're just wanting to kill a black person. You're looking past the fact that this person is suffering from mental health issues. So I think if more states did that, I think that'll be a great thing. And I really hope that New York stick with this program, because mental health experts, you see them all the time talking someone from jumping off a building. Have you ever watched TV? It's rarely a fire department talking this person down. They actually send a skilled professional to come and tell this person reasons why they shouldn't jump, that is not that bad. So it's showing you that to make this work with the killings, we need a team, and obviously New York gets it. The cops, stop sending the cops. Obviously they don't want to deal with mental health issues when it's a black person. Let me add that.
Because I've seen them de-escalate white people who clearly had a mental illness. I've seen that several times, and it happens all the time for them. So this is really more so like an insurance policy for our citizens who are facing mental illness issues.
Yes, I totally agree. And that's why I wanted your insight on that, because I was like, wait a minute. When I seen it, I just kind of like, this is good. Like, this is really, really good. Like, so far, since all this stuff has been happening with the COVID and stuff, I've really seen New York governor in the state of New York really be on the forefront of trying to get down the COVID numbers and trying to get everybody on one accord and actually set the standard. And I really appreciate that. And I'm hoping that we get some of that in Texas,
Oh, yes, we need it, because this person here, I don't like him either. Our current governor here, no, we need better. We need somebody like that. What's that? The mayor? I'm sorry, or in New York City, the mayor, right?
It's Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. Okay. I totally agree. Yeah, Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, we need a mayor like that, because you have to consider all citizens, because we all have to pay taxes, and I feel like all people need good care, and they need to be treated right, and especially those with the mental illnesses, because they may have just missed a medication that day and has them unbalanced, and you can die from just missing one medication. It is completely ridiculous.
Yes, I totally agree. It's been a lot. It's really been a lot going on, but again, I've just been keeping everyone in prayers, and I just really hope that we can get this under control, because I could tell you one thing, it's going to take more than maybe even his first term for Biden to get things passed. Like you said, the House is Republicans, and
Mm-hmm.
if you remember, my brother, Obama had a House full of Republicans. Can we count how many on how many hands or fingers he was able to get laws passed that would have benefited us?
Right.
And he really tried. He attempted, but I mean, if you're gonna deny everything, what the hell could the man do?
Right. And that's their main complaint. Like, what did Obama do? But I mean, we can pose that question to all of those presidents. Why do we only pose it about President Obama? None of them have really done anything for the Black community directly. I
Yeah,
don't think. I think
no,
he tried, but he has to be
yeah,
America. He has to be America's president and not just our president.
that's a great point. That's a great point. Now, as we wrap up this I say interview, but you're a guest host tonight, and you always do a great job. We'll have to bring you back on and talk about this after January 20th, because I want to see, is he gonna get his ass out of the White House? So I have to bring you once he is out. I'm gonna be like, yes, Michael, he's out, like for good, for good. But I want to
You know
say,
what? I wish we could. Oh, really quickly, I was just gonna say, I wish we could take a trip to like Washington D.C. and like report live from like the streets of Washington, like on the inauguration day or something.
oh my goodness, you know what? We got a little bit of time. That would be cool. Like
I know.
road trip, bam,
Exactly.
bam. Get you,
Mhm.
mine. We all go. That would be real hot. I wanted to say as we wrap up the show that Black Lives Matter, and the reason that I'm saying that, in Louisiana, a 15-year-old by the name of Quan Charles willingly got into a car with two people, a white woman and a white guy. Um, it's a trigger when you search this story, so I'm just letting you know. If you're familiar with Emmett Till, then this story will definitely rattle your bones. They are calling him the 2020 Emmett Till, and we are praying that justice goes to this family, because they are not trying to talk about it in Louisiana. It has not made headlines, and I definitely wanted to briefly talk about that on the show tonight, because I'm gonna post this up and everybody is seeing it, and I pray that the people that see it, share it, because this is really sad that yet still, out of all the things we are fighting for with George Floyd and all that, some people are still out here killing Black people just because of the color of their skin, and that's a damn shame. I hope that you cannot sleep at night. I hope your soul never rests, and I hope like hell that you are caught for killing this young man, because that is no words to explain that what that mom is going through. It's absolutely sad. So again, rest in peace in Black Lives Matter. Quan Charles is his name. He was 15 years old in Louisiana. So
Black Lives Matter.
yes, Black Lives still matter. Michael, it has been great having you as a guest host on my show tonight for my Ear to the Street segment. I thank you so much for always bringing your damn A game when I just randomly ask you if you can come on to the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. And everybody, if you could please follow me on Facebook, it's Michael T as in Tom Williams. But then there's a lot of me. I have a very common ordinary name, so just type in Michael T Williams, and then type in Houston, Texas, and it'll come right up.
Yes, absolutely. It's been nice. You have a great night, Mike.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.